Hello everyone. I am fucking tired. It has been a long day. I was chased away from between the Russell and Dirksen Senate office buildings because you're not supposed to have a tripod without a permit. Didn't know tripods were scary weapons. What's funny is I still got all the filming done I needed to get done for now. But I was too tired and didn't feel like dealing with the crowds, and because, oh, by the way, the progressive rally that was supposed to be the answer to Glenn Beck's rally was fucking huge. So, kudos to you guys. In case anyone's curious, it's good. But, I checked my comments, and lovely and wonderful people were in the comment section, especially B, who I haven't seen in a very long time, and it is wonderful to see you again, and thank you for your visit. And yes, monochrome is sexy and stylish. I'm not doing it right now, but that's because I'm tired. In any case, yes, I know monochrome is not a big challenge. I saw something in my comments that disturbed me, and I'm not gonna name the person who said it because it's not a big deal that they said it. The big deal is that this is an argument I dislike. I like the user, but this argument absolutely pisses me off. Here we go. It's very hard to gauge how much of the anti-establishment left had any valid points about George Bush and how much was just partisan buzz to slow the roll the Republicans were on. It's obvious that there was some validity to the coalition of the wild-eyed claims that seemed but really didn't validate the left's main candidates either, and the Democrats and the left wing share much of the same schism that the Tea Party and the Republicans share now. The crazy are on both sides also, so on. No. Okay. First of all, the relationship between the Tea Party and the GOP is that the corporate backers of the GOP created the Tea Party. The professional left that Robert Gibbs was bitching about are not a creation of the Democratic Party leadership or the corporate left. Essentially, it's bloggers and grassroots and assholes like me. Second, I've never heard the phrase coalition of the wild-eyed. I don't know where that comes from, so I'm not quite certain what he's referring to. But the main points against George Bush were that he went AWOL on his Texas Air National Guard service, which he did. The scandal was that Dan Rather was given a forged memo that was supposed to back this up. That he invaded Iraq under false pretenses, many false pretenses. That he did things like Healthy Forests and Clear Skies and No Child Left Behind, which did absolutely nothing that their name would imply they did. There were nothing, forests were cut down, skies were polluted, and a lot of children were left behind, especially school districts were left behind. He tried to appoint his fucking lawyer to the Supreme Court. Alright. I'll get into that in the Tea Party video, because that was a real great moment of insanity for the GOP. Because that was when, screw Katrina, screw the Social Security thing, that was the moment that the GOP became disillusioned with George W. Bush. But let's assume that there is a political left and a political right that can be applied to individuals with any sort of accuracy, because in my opinion it's kind of a myth that most human beings out there take from different, they're politically a la carte. They take the positions they like from all across the spectrum and they try and put them together in some sort of sensible whole. But let's pretend that there is a left and a right. let's remember that the leadership on the nominal left, since the left in the United States is center or center conservative anywhere else in the world, and the leadership on the right come from, although they come from the same social class, they're involved in generally different industries, they're different families, they're different social backgrounds, different parts of the country, all sorts of differences between them. So by definition, there are differences. Second, the crazies on the left, like Ward Churchill, Lyndon LaRouche, although Lyndon LaRouche is a little too scary authoritarian. Well, there are authoritarian leftists. I don't know that Lyndon LaRouche is left, though. I don't know. But the crazies on the left get ostracized. They get chased out of their jobs, their political offices. They get chased out of power. They're shunned by polite society. The crazies on the right are elected. They're given jobs at Fox News. They make decades-long political careers, especially in places like Texas and Kansas. All right? To be crazy is to be rewarded. All right? The crazies are in charge. The C Street House, all right? The group of very religious senators who wanted to remake the United States into a biblically Christian nation. All right? The crazies on the right and the left are not the same. And lastly, and most importantly, I am wondering how anyone who makes this statement of false equivalency between the crazies on the left and the crazies on the right can manage to do what no social scientist, no psychologist, no psychiatrist, no historian has ever managed to do, and that is quantify crazy. To talk about how much or how intense or how out there it is, you have to be able to put a number on it. It is a statement of personal preference to say that they are the same, and it is without basis. So in no way can you say that the crazies on the right and the left are much the same. In no way can you say that the crazies on the left did not have valid points about George Bush, because George Bush had a whole shitload of bad points about it. All right? I don't know what the crazy positions are on the left about George Bush, because even though I was hanging around some people like Answer, all right, occasionally, with some of the anti-war protests that were going on 2004 and 2005, you know, there really hasn't been much heard from them. And most of they didn't need to reach. Okay? Prescott Bush was hooked up with the Nazis. They didn't have to reach. He was a business partner in business with them. It really, really doesn't. And I'm talking about the grandfather of George H.W. Bush. Or sorry, George W. Bush. You really didn't need to. Barbara Bush, the woman of whom Richard fucking Nixon said, this is a woman who knows how to hate. Nobody had to make up anything about the Bushes. So, and this is a point that I'll be happy to beat on my channel over and over and over again, because I love it when people pull out false equivalency. Because, please forgive me for the politically incorrect phrasing, but I turn into an animal hater and I see baby heart seals all around me. All right, is the equivalent of how I react when I see that phrasing. Because it's bullshit and it needs to be beat down. With glee. Anyhow, I'm going to enjoy a drink. I'm going to play Fallout 3 for a while, which, by the way, walking through DC after playing Fallout 3, it's not the same. It's a lot of fun. Fallout 3 is set in DC, sort of, an alternate universe. But Thank you for your time and attention. I hope this made sense. How long did this go on? Wow, almost 10 minutes. Y'all have a good one. And yay.